Well, hello. Good timing there. Thanks for dropping by. Hello. Have you just come out to say hello? I don't like you on the table, do I? No. This is I've come on the table anyway to say hello. So, hello. Hello, BookTube. Long time no see. It's been 6 months since me and Indy have dropped by. Yeah, this is nice. Yeah, so, hello. Me and my cat decided that we'd just pop in. Actually, we've got an idea of what to do for this video, and this is going to be a series of videos. I'll let you know why I've been away, but yeah. So I just wanted to say, so first of all, hello, lovely to see you. Here's Cat's Bottom. So me and Indy are back, aren't we, Ind? Yeah, we've come back. Thought we'd say hi, didn't we? Yeah. And then I'm actually going to sort through some books. So I thought, we could do that and we could chat together. You could give me impetus to sort through some books. So I've got a couple of days. I'm hoping that I can do majority of it today and tomorrow. And we'll have a chat. We'll have a chat and see how everything's going. So welcome, BookTube. Hello, BookTube. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing, from me and Indy. The other cats are about, but they're not here. It's just my familiar. Keeping me company, aren't you? Yeah, making sure I'm okay. And I'm fine. Lovely to see you. I'm fine. It's been 6 months since I've been here. What have you been up to? How was your 2023? Ours was terrible, wasn't it? So we had a bit of a rough 2023. So I left BookTube and I kind of did a au revoir, as in I'll hopefully see you again. It was either a BookTube or a yarn chat or both. We were just at the beginning of we knew it was going to be quite a tricky time, and it did turn out to be said tricky time. It's actually ended as well as it possibly could. So I left saying that we were going to have a tricky time, and I wasn't sure. It was not my story to tell. However, I've asked. It's to do with the husband, and I've asked him, and he said, "Fine, say what you want. It's absolutely fine," didn't he? So so my husband, my lovely, lovely husband, was diagnosed with cancer in his neck. Cancer anywhere is not good, let's be honest, but in your neck, I know, cat's just gone. It was bad, wasn't it? It's not good. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100 do not recommend having cancer in your neck. None of it's good. None of it's fun. None of it's fun. There were no fun times. Fun times were not had. It's still too fresh for most humour, except the darkest of humour, of which we have gone down. You have to. You have to find some points that you can laugh. And we have. And we have gone. You get very, very dark. Yes, so the husband was diagnosed with cancer in his neck. He has had it removed. He is cancer-free at the moment. He has also had intensive radiotherapy, incredibly strong, the strongest they could possibly give on his neck, and it has been awful. To put it mildly, it has been awful. And with radiotherapy, you have it every single day, and it's cumulative. The side effects they're bad, aren't they? Yeah, he says he knows. This is a cat that has sat through it all, haven't you? Put your bottom down. So yeah, that was bad. That was just, it was just terrible. End. So yeah. However, we are are we 6 weeks or are we 7 weeks post? 6 weeks, I think. 6 weeks post radiotherapy, 6.5 weeks post radiotherapy. And so the husband is in recovery. He is doing phenomenally well, considering what he has experienced in the last 6 months. He's doing brilliantly. And he's come out the best that could. So he hasn't lost any. He's lost a lot of neck. I mean, he hasn't. He's had reconstruction. So the neck's not looking the same, but it's mighty, mighty fine. He has some impressive scars. Woo-wee. If you like scars, woo, he's a man for scars. Which I just think is amazing what the body will deal with. And we're kind of how many months away from the surgery are we? We're only 5 months, 5 and a bit months away from his surgery. So how his body has handled a brutal surgery and reconstruction. It was very, very long surgery and reconstruction because it all had to be done at the same time. You've got you have to protect the neck. You know, the body, they could, quite often they'll do the surgery and remove it, and then they'll, let it heal and then reconstruct the best way possible. That wasn't an option. That's not an option on the neck, because everything is vital. So he's had that was amazing. What they were able to do is absolutely amazing, and how he's recovered is phenomenal. But we still don't know long term how it will all be. He can speak. He's recovering his swallow. His voice isn't the same at the moment. It's nearly back, and there are times it's just back, which as he does, he's like part of the. We do the Spooky Tales podcast together. You've heard his voice. He has the most beautiful voice, and they did say you may lose your voice in ways. It could be irrevocably changed. It hasn't been. It's sometimes the tone isn't quite right, and you can hear. I can hear it. Maybe that's it as well, because I can hear it because I've gone through the whole thing with him, so I can hear all the changes, and I can hear radiotherapy voice. There was definitely, because he has had radiotherapy on his neck, which is brutal. Oh my gosh, the side effects. Woo-wee. I can hear that, but other than that, he's coming back. Oh, another cat's walked in the room. Well, you might have to go and see that cat. He says, I might have to do that. He's done phenomenally well. And we're still, thinking about it. We're not 6 months away from the operation yet, and he's just had he's just so much radiation. We're recovering from that. So we've had many hospital visits, many clinics, many emergency hospital visits, many times sat in hospital wondering what was going to happen, what was going to be done, how it would get better. And we did spend the first couple of months thinking he was going to go because it looked so bad. It was so aggressive. So it's been bad, no doubt about it. And this will make you laugh. Not laugh, but it might make you laugh. Driving home with the son, my beautiful lad, he said, this was 2 months ago. He said, by the way, Mum, I've got a lump in my neck. Oh, that was a bad day. That was a bad 24 hours, I have to say. I think that was up there. It's just a cyst, and he's going to have that removed, and it's not life-threatening, and it's fine. But that was the have to say. I work for the NHS, so I'm NHS through and through, the National Health System here in this country, and I work for the NHS, and it was actually within the hospitals that I work with, and I work in, and I don't think the people that who saw me actually knew I worked in the hospitals, because they're huge, they're vast hospitals, but they were phenomenal because of his dad's history. He's so lovely, this cat. If he hears me talking about this, he always has to come and he always makes sure I'm okay, don't you? You always look after me. Yes. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. And it's fine. He's fine, isn't he? Yes, he's fine. I'm fine as well. It's been terrible. He's been bad, hasn't it? But you've been a tower of feline strength. Yes. And my books. Oh my word. It's amazing actually how little I have read. I've listened to audiobooks, and I have read some books. I've actually, when we were doing radiotherapy, because it got to the stage where the husband couldn't drive, so he didn't drive for nearly 2 months. Excuse me. Gin. No, it's not. It's water. Yeah, he didn't drive for 2 months. I drove him everywhere. So I was taking him to radiotherapy every day, and it's quite a lot of waiting. So either I was cross stitch, knitting, whatever, or I would actually read. And I got into the stage now that there are certain books if I look at, I'm like, ooh, because that to me is just radiotherapy reading, because I'd just take and sit and read my book. Churn through books doing that, actually, going to radiotherapy every day, didn't I? So that was really handy. Audiobooks. They've been brilliant. But yeah. So that's why I've been away. Come back. We're in recovery. He's cancer free. He's going to be scanned all the time now. They're going to be keeping their BDR on him, which is a great thing. So there are still more hospital visits in my future, but the husband is recovering so well, and yeah. But it's been lovely. Every so often somebody said to me, "Are you going to come back to BookTube?" And I've said, some point, probably. I don't know. I've been on Instagram, so if you're on Instagram, occasionally I've been on Instagram. My life has not been particularly Instagrammable, and so there were periods I just didn't go on it, because the pretty life that everybody else was having was not the life I was living, really. So if you have had these times, you know exactly what I mean by that. Yeah, but here we are, we're back, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through, and you can see all of that I've got to go through, and I've got a whole lot. I'm going to have a bit of a mooch through my books, basically. So the theory, so what all of this is, I thought I'd do it with you, and then you can have me wittering on in the back if you wish. We'll catch up a little bit, which we've done, and then I'm going to show you some books I'm getting rid of. So that's the idea is. Let me talk you through what my idea is. My idea is that I need to clear some space. So I have, as a family, we've probably got, I don't know, 4,000, 5,000 books. We've got a fair old library of books, and that's wonderful. I'm going to keep the majority of them. However, periodically, and I do this periodically, I like to go through my books and consider whether I want to keep them or not. And because there are times that my taste is changing, and there are times that I just think, I don't know why I'm keeping this book. Nobody else is interested in it. So the vast majority of these books are my books. There are books that are the husband's, and I won't ever get rid of those. There are books that are the lad's, and that's up to him. And he does winnow through his books on a regular basis. he has got such a fine manga collection. Let me tell you, that boy, you start them reading early, they can do it, and his manga collection is perfect. It's just, he's really curated it beautifully. Yeah, so I've got a lot of books that I've inherited from people, or I've bought, or that have been given to me. And sometimes I'm keeping them because of duty, because I feel like I should. Sometimes I'm keeping them because they have memories, and that's absolutely fine. But then that changes over time, doesn't it? There's only, I want to clear out some space, and for me, January and February are really good months for that, because my energy is reflective. This is a reflective time. We've spent an awful lot of time in the house, and I've not actually done much at all. Like I painted one small bathroom. That's all I did. I've been keeping everything going and what have you, but I haven't we haven't done any renovations or anything major. And I think that's because what we've been going through has been so absorbing, and so, every thought has been cancer related. This is what happens. This is what happens, friends. And having gone through other things like this, I do realise that that's what happens. And there is a limit to how much you can do. But I've come to that bit now where I've actually got some brain space, and I'm hoping life is going to slowly get back to a norm of some kind. And I want to clear out in this reflective time. I'm going to have a little bit of a clear out. And what I do is I look at the book and I say, there are some books you just go, gone. Some books you say, never gonna get rid of. And it's the tricky middle books. And what I tend to do is pile them into a box, and then in about 3 or 4 months' time, look again. And if I go, actually, I've missed it, or no, I need to keep it, or I'd forgotten I even considered keeping this, then I know it's time for it to go. And what I'm going to try and do is we'll try and do a big kind of car boot sale, or we will do something. Because I've got boxes and boxes of books in our store that I want to go through, and I can't even get to them. And I'm sure there are one of the books that I do actually want to have in the house that are in the store, and I need to clear out. And we're getting to that stage where I need to get rid of. Say I got rid of, or I thought about getting rid of 500 books. Does that sound a lot? When I say it out loud, I'm like, but then I'll be clearing all that space. Anyway, we'll see, won't we? I am going to, so this is going to be a long form video. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to chop it up and put it into several weeks. So this is the beginning-y bit. So yeah, I'm going to just be back in a moment because I'm going to give this boy his lunch. He has a little bite to eat at lunchtime, which is one of the reasons why he sat here. So you're going to have your biscuits now, aren't you? Indy? Ind? Say to the people you're going to have some biscuits. You look sad. He isn't sad. You always look sad, don't you? Ah, he says I'm very sad. Sad that my lunch is so late. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Come on then. No biscuits. Right, so if that was a waffly beginning, that is because I haven't done this for so long. Oh. I haven't done this for so long, I actually don't know what I'm doing. Let's be honest. Oh, some of these books are going to be really dusty as well. I'm basically just going to pile some books here. I don't know whether, I'm sure you will have seen them, because I'm sure I will have shown you these at some point. Honestly, I have books stacked everywhere. And cobwebs. Books. And cobwebs. That's what I have. I move here for 2 seconds. Oh. I'd forgotten some of these books even existed. Got some DVDs up here as well. I was going to just do this, but I'm actually doing a bath because I thought we'll start up there and we'll see how we go. Oh my gosh. Should we just start here? I don't know, I'm going to see what that book is. Oh! Didn't even know I had that. Gosh, I didn't even know I had that. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? It's going to be a bit like that. Let's just move some of these books. Oh, I'm already getting in a pickle. Ooh, that's a bit filthy. That's one of the husband's books. I don't know about that book. Oh, there's going to be some decisions. Okay, so this is the book that I said I had no idea what it was and I didn't even know I had. A field guide in colour to wildflowers. That is lovely. It was also £3.95. I don't believe it was £3.95 when I bought it. I don't think I bought this. This was published in 1980. Well, it was reprinted in 1980. Oh, it is lovely. Look at that. When did I get this? Oh, this is lovely. Oh, and it's colour coded, so you can see on the spot on the pages. That's the colour of the flower. So if I look at the blue edged pages, Speedwell. Do you know we've had some Speedwell in our garden? Lamb's lettuce, corn salad, field Speedwell, scarlet pimpernel. How beautiful. That will be very useful. Do you know, I didn't even know I had that. Well, keeping that, but I need to put it somewhere that I can actually access it. It's got a bit, is that faded or did that never have? I think there must have been something more on the spine than just that. That's beautiful anyway. Yeah, there we go. It's a field guide in colour. Keep you. You're going to be there. I'm going to keep you because you're going to be great. Okay. Here we go. We're not going to go too in depth with absolutely everything. Otherwise, this could end up being a series that lasts a year. So this is Michael Connelly, The Dark Hours. It's a paperback. I'd be bound that my mother-in-law will have passed that to me. So that's Michael Connelly. I have got several Michael Connellys. Have I not? I've got several Michael Connellys around anyway that I need to make a decision about. So my mother-in-law passes on. She reads a lot of these kind of crime books, and she knows I like crime books, and she gives them to myself and her two daughters, my sister-in-laws, and we kind of pass between them. And they've kind of, I'm kind of the last person that gets them because I think they stick with me because I go, yeah, great, and I haven't read them. I need to make a decision about Michael Connelly because I've got lots of them, and I'm not reading them at all. So maybe I need to read the first kind of couple of pages. So this is in the Rini Ballard series. How many books? See, I remember the first book that came out. This is going to be a long time, Louise, if you carry on doing this. The Black Echo, The Black Ice, The Concrete Blonde. I read all of those. The Poet. That was such a good Michael Connelly. It's the Harry Bosch series, and The Poet. I remember that coming out, and it being so good. I read all of them as they came out, all the way up to The Overlook. I remember reading The Overlook. The Brass Verdict, you see, that's when I go, I don't remember that. Angel's Flight. I remember that being a brilliant one. So good. But The Poet and Trunk Music were really good. I think that's when he was at his best. Haven't read him for a long time though. So this is the Sherlock Holmes puzzle collection, The Lost Cases. Over 140 cerebral challenges inspired by the world's greatest detectives. Has anybody else been watching on BBC on the I've been watching it on the iPlayer, but I know it's been on Lucy Worsley. Let's go for Lucy Worsley. Talking about Arthur Conan Doyle and why does he hate his creation, Sherlock Holmes. Really good. 3-part series. Really enjoyed it. This came from one of those you don't know what it. Oh, this is going to make no sense. So, kind of a subscription box, although it wasn't a subscription box. It was kind of a mystery crime box. There we go. That I got off Etsy. That I did an unboxing for and everything, and all of the books were terrible apart from this one. I was like. So I didn't bother doing anything with it. In fact, if the books are still here, I will be getting rid of them because I tried reading them and they were just not my... Oh, they're not terrible, just really not my kind of books. And I was so disappointed with it. However, I did get this one. And I kind of think I would probably... I am the kind of person that would like these kind of quizzes. I am that kind of person. So I think I'm going to keep that one. That's going to be a keep. Oh, lovely. The Complete Guide to the Menopause. Yeah, probably I'll keep that. Complete Guide to the Menopause by Dr. Anise Mukherjee. Wrong way. Yeah. Yeah. Time of life. The House of Sky and Breath, a Crescent City novel by Sarah J. Maas. Where are my other Sarah J. Maas's? I don't think I have. I think I have this in paperback. The other one in paperback. I need to probably get rid of the hardback and get the paperback. So this is the second one in the Crescent. What's it called? Crescent City. A Crescent City novel. Yeah, the second in the Crescent City novel. The first one was Earth and Blood. This is Sky and Breath. I have no idea. I've got really out of touch with Sarah J. Maas. Oh, she's controversial, isn't she? Either people love her or people really, really, really dislike her. I think give you my 2 penneth. The Throne of Glass series I thought was really good until Empire of Storms. So 1, 2, 3, 4. First 5 I thought were very good. I think Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash lost their way. I'll be honest. The Court of Throne and Roses series I thought was really good. The first 3, great. Frost and Starlight, which is like 100 pages, was fine. A Court of Silver Flames, which I have the hardback over there, I found very medium. And I feel that she starts off a series quite strong and then she gets bogged down in it. Crescent City series, I have to say, I found the main lass, Bryce Quinlan, tad irritating. They actually both were both Bryce and Hunt were irritating. But yeah, I have got it, the hardback. I'll probably keep it for the time being. Yeah, I'll keep it for the time being. Right, Karen Slaughter, The Girl Forgotten. I read this. Did I tell you I read this? I'm sure I did. Karen Slaughter, this was given by the mother-in-law. Girl Forgotten. I thought it was very middling. I'm not going to keep that. I'm going to get rid of that. That was decidedly middling. So, The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. Scion. No safer place. The world is 2057. I got this from Oxfam for $1.99, The Bone Season. So this is the first part, isn't it? Is it a trilogy? Can't remember how many parts are in. First published in 2013. I got this, was it last year or the year before? I may have missed the boat on that one. That's a maybe. I still am interested in it. So it's a fantasy novel. 19-year-old Paige Mahoney is working in the criminal underworld of Scion, London, based at Seven Dials, employed by a man named Jackson Hall. Her job to scout for information by breaking into people's minds. For Paige is a dream walker, a clairvoyant, and in her world, the world of Scion, she commits treason simply by breathing. Yeah. I'm going to keep that. Still tempted. I can get rid of that. Hello. The husband's just gone past. Are you all right if I carry on chatting? Husband? Are you all right if I carry on chatting?
Yes.
That's fine.
No problem.
You can just get your lunch.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so there's going to be some noise from the husband who's over there. So he's back at work full time, and but he's working from home at the moment because he's only just get back into driving. He only drove for the first time this weekend, so because it's painful to drive, so he's only just getting back into it. But he's bumbling about. So babies' names, new edition. I will never get rid of this because it's just the cutest. And I shall look up my boy's name. That's a girl's name. Oh, where is it? There it is. So yeah, I should always keep that, but I should put that there. So I've got 3 piles at the moment. I've got definitely, maybe, definitely keeping. Unfortunately, the definitely keeping is the largest. But Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Get rid of that. Sorry, I found that tedious. I don't like it. The format. I should have looked to see what the format was. So it's very. So it's person to person, so it quickly moves. So it's a zippy through book because you read it very quickly. I found the people tedious. I found the people so tedious. I know it's much beloved, and that says that I'm more out of step than. Yeah, I'm just really out of step with this kind of stuff. Really tedious. Taylor Jenkins Reid is a hit and miss author for me. Another one I'm out of step with the world is the Atlas 6 by, is it Olive Blake? Olive? It's not Olive, so Olivie Blake? I don't know. Apologies. Knowledge is Carnage. This is a Secret Society book, which it was fine. I mean, honestly, I was really hopeful for it, but I found it got too knee deep in with itself. So, yeah. The Feast, I've tried this a couple of times. Oh, and I really, really, really want to keep it. But I almost want to keep it just for its cover. Is that shallow? I wonder whether I could give it to somebody. Whether they would like it. It's just not my kind of book. I wonder if my sister might like it. I might ask my sister if she's read it. And if she's not read it, she could actually have it. Put that on the maybe pile. You're right. Cool. Peter May. This is the one I started. I don't know if you remember me starting this. You're not going to remember me starting this. Why would you? This is Peter May, A Winter Grave. This is a standalone where a young meteorologist checking a mountaintop weather station in Kinlochleven in Scotland discovers a body entombed in ice. This is based in 2051 and it's a warnings of climate change. It's a very weather dominated book and I found the character to begin with awful, and some people did say carry on with it, but I'm sorry, life's too short for that one. That was again a mother-in-law one. The Twyford Code by Janice Hallett. I didn't read the pantomime one. I know the pantomime one came out at which is kind of the sequel to The Appeal, which I loved. And I love a pantomime. And I did think about getting her latest, which is about the pantomime. But I didn't in the end. I thought the Twyford Code was terrible. Terrible. So that's going. Now, Louise Penny, The Madness of Crowds. This is how many books into the series? Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16. This is the 17th book in the series. I do have a lot of them. I haven't read this one. I am going to read it. It was the mother-in-law who gave me this. If I am going to read it, I am going to keep it because if I get into them again, they're so good. So this is police procedural, mystery, Gamache, Chief Inspector Gamache. Am I saying that correct? I might not be. It's a mystery set in Canada. Oh, it's so good. I do really like them. The first one is called, for you to know, Still Life. It's called Still Life. I highly recommend it. Lots of detail. I like a crime book with lots of detail. Keeping that one. Didn't even know I had this. William McCall. I don't know how to pronounce that. And Ian Rankin. I've never read an Ian Rankin. I'm not going to read it. Made the decision. I'm not going to read it. That's going to go. Oh, okay. It's your German dictionary. Always. Do you know, I'm not going to get rid of a dictionary. I don't know why. I love a German dictionary. It might not even be mine. This might be the husband's. Husband, is this yours, the German dictionary? Okay. Is this yours?
Ja, bitte.
Yeah, bitte. I'm not going to get rid of that anyway. I'm not getting rid of babies' names either.
No, it's quite good for cats as well.
Yes, cats' names. I found a notebook. I found some books I didn't even know I had already, which is a good sign, isn't it? And I found a notebook that hasn't been used. No, I've got one. Thank you very much, darling. Thank you. Which I obviously got with I think I got that with the crime mystery box. It's ringing a bell that I got this notebook with a crime mystery book. So it's an old notebook. Always keeping notebooks, and I shall keep that upstairs. So I bought this from a charity shop. This is for real. It's bloody dirty work. The Red Knight, Miles Cameron. I remember this book coming out. It was wasn't it self-published to begin with, and then it got picked up. Is that just me? I am sure that that's what happened. That Miles Cameron did awful lot of publicity himself. I think it's hard work if you're an author, and I think you have to do a lot of publicity yourself. It's a junky fantasy novel. I fancy it. I'm not going to get rid of that. I know that's a bit of a lot, but yeah. So I thought this was going to be gritty, and it was. Notes on an Execution by Dana Kukafka. That's my attempt at that. Apologies, Dana, for getting it wrong. Yeah, so Paula Hawkins says it's thrilling. The Times found it compulsive. Britt Bennett said it was searing. I really don't care what they thought of it. I thought it was okay. So Ansel Packer is scheduled to die in 12 hours, but this is not his story. This is the story of the women who survive. I didn't like it. I found it unpleasant. And it could well have been that it was the time I started reading it, and it could well have been that it's not you, it's me. Could be that, but I found it unpleasant and was not in the mood for unpleasant. So 7 Ages of Death. I got this from a charity shop. Dr. Richard Shepherd. I should be keeping this. I haven't read. I read the first. It's done in different parts. And it kind of works through the 7 ages of death, and it starts with children, and it starts off with babies and then goes to children. I've read Unnatural Causes, which is his autobiography. Really liked that. Ugh. I got to a point, and then last year was not the year for reading this. You will understand why. However, it's one of those books that I at some point will be in the right mood for that. Inventing Ourselves, The Secret to Life of the Teenage Brain. I still haven't read that. And my word is art boy teenage, but I'm going to keep that because that's going to be amazing. At some point I will read it. And this I got, it's about The Race to Unlock the Mysteries of Parkinson's Disease. It's called Brainstorms by John Palfreman. Yeah, so Palfreman. Who actually is an author who actually he's a living expert on Parkinson's disease. However, I will be keeping this. We did the event that we had, because I got it because I was doing Parkinson's because I deal with Parkinson's medication and Parkinson's patients at work. It got pushed back, and then it became not. Oh, cat's meowing at me. It didn't become the event that we wanted it to be. However, I am still very interested in that, so I will still be keeping that. Oh, I've done quite well here. How long is this? See, this will be cut down, don't worry. Legends and Lattes. Oh, here we go. And is this one of those books that you see advertised as a TikTok sensation? I don't have TikTok. If you're a TikTok person, great. I don't have TikTok. I don't. No. I basically saw a lot of people fall in love with this book on Instagram on the few times that I was actually looking at it, and I just thought, oh, it sounds amusing. It's kind of fantasy, and somebody's setting up a coffee shop. She's done slaying monsters. She's ready to serve coffee. High fantasy, low stakes, good company, and the idea of that. I do like a book with detail. I'm not proud of this. I got really bored. And people love it. And Bookshops and Bone Dust is the next one. And people are like being wooing about it. And I'm like, it was really boring. I was just bored. So yeah, I'm actually going to get rid of that. I'm not keeping that one. The cat's looking at me. So here we go. Oh, I am going to get rid of these. I don't know whether just to throw these away, actually, because you can't give these away. The 50 Shades thing. Do you remember? Do you remember when that was a thing? 50 Shades. You got 50 Shades of Grey, you got 50 Shades Darker, and then you got 50 Shades Freed. I read 50 Shades of Grey. I struggled through 50 Shades Darker, and then 50 Shades Freed I didn't even pick up. I remember when it was the thing. It was such the thing to read, and being on holiday and seeing people by the pool reading it, and it was on the way home on the plane, and the plane was actually quite empty, and I remember going to the toilet, and there was a lady sat, and her husband and children were on the row in front, and she was sat and she was reading 50 Shades Freed, and I had read 50 Shades of Grey and was struggling through 50 Shades Darker, and I remember saying to her, how are you finding it? And she went, and I was like, that good? And she's like, and she said, literally just to finish it. And I remember thinking, you're probably a better woman than I am. Still in my mind, that woman will not know the impact that she's had on me. Her expression said everything. Love it, those little moments. That's an amazing thing about life, isn't it? You don't realise the little moment. There will be a little moment that you've done something and you've sat in somebody's life and they're thinking, oh, what's happened to that lady? Oh, just her expression. Amused me then. So this is The Christie Affair by Nina de Gramont. I was enthralled, said Elizabeth McNeil, Nina's best friend. An exciting, moving and delightful read, said Janice Hallett. They're all best-selling authors behind. Yeah. It is the story. It is a fictionalised version of the 11 days that Agatha Christie goes missing. So it's based on the true story of Agatha Christie going missing. Fictionalised. It's the spoken is done from the point of view of. Oh, look at that! Done from the point of view of Agatha Christie's husband's mistress. Yeah, didn't like it. I'm going to let it go. I kept it because it's so pretty. Look, cat's come in. Look at that. I kept it because it's so pretty. It's got sprayed edges and everything. Oh, it's so pretty. It's about Agatha Christie. We all know. But if you're new here, I am an Agatha Christie obsessive, aren't I? I have so many of her books. I collect things, you know, and get bought things like this, Agatha Christie Bingo, because it's the era and everything that I love. Never getting rid of that. I've got Agatha Christie prints on the kind of types, prints on the wall. I've got my Agatha Christie, the Poirot calendar. So I was keeping it because of that. But I am now no longer keeping it because of that. We're going to get rid of it. Cat knows I don't like you on the table. Dawn French, Dear Fatty. This was for a book club. Fine. She's great, and I did read the book. I actually listened to it on Audible, as an audio book because I couldn't get through it just reading it normally. And she reads the book. She does it very, very well. Yeah. I'm not going to read it again. Somebody else can read it. Right, did I just pick this up? I think I did. A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCrate. A Good Marriage, The Perfect Life, The Perfect Neighbourhood, The Perfect Murder. It's a thriller. I read it. It's fine. I'm never going to read it again. This was part of Crime Con in the UK. They were doing a book club with books every month. I read, did I get the first one or two? And I got this one. And oh my God, I couldn't bear it. Could not bear it, which is so unusual for me for a crime book, for a true crime book. Oh, I couldn't bear it. It was awful. Very misogynistic. I really didn't like it. So I won't be keeping that. That's a definite. Theatre Administration by Frances Reid. Not mine. That goes on there because that's the husband's. Well, certainly not going to get rid of that. Tractors of the World. Tractors of the World. Illustrated Encyclopedia by Dorling Kinsley. Is this Dorling Kinsley? No, Select Editions. Oh, I thought it was a Dorling Kinsley book. This, I don't know whether I bought or whether somebody bought for my lad when he used to be able to name every single type of tractor. You know, when lads, don't know whether it's just lads, or the girls do the same. I should imagine girls do the same. Children get absolutely obsessive about something and they go so knee deep into it. And we knew all the tractors. I'm still pretty good at spotting tractors and combine harvesters and being able to identify them. And we still get points if you see a tractor, and you get 2 points if it's pulling something. My lad is 15. Obviously, he doesn't play the game anymore because he's cool. Me and his father are not, and so do. 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Trenton. I'm keeping this. I enjoyed this. I'm not going to lie. I like the styling of it. I enjoyed it. It's one of those books that I can imagine rereading. I did enjoyed it. It's a twisty-turny murder mystery. Twisty-turny murder mystery. I read his second book. I bought it, and it's Pirates. Is it down here or have I got rid of it? Hopefully I've got rid of that one, because I think I did get rid of that one because I didn't. I don't like pirate books. And it's Pirates. And I got halfway through it and I was like, why am I reading this? Okie dokie. Here we go. I'm going to do a little bit more and then I'm going to go and have some lunch and then we will come back. I don't know what time it is. No, it is lunchtime. Sorry, just checking my message. It is lunchtime. Right, let's have a look. Manda Scott Boudicca, Dreaming the Eagle. This is the first in a 4-part series. Historical novel. Manda Scott Boudicca, Dreaming the Eagle. I think I'll keep it. Read it many years ago. I think I'll keep it. Adrian Tchaikovsky, Empire in Black and Gold. The days of peace are over. This is a fantasy novel that I bought a couple of years ago and I think I started it. And I obviously wasn't in the mood. No, I'll keep that. I would like to read that. I'm keeping this. This is a proof. Publication date, August 2000. Gosh, 23 years ago. Look to Windward by Ian M. Banks. I was such a fan. I was such a fan of Ian M. Banks that the I've got a dead spider in it. Get rid of that. I was such a fan of his books. and I have bought an awful lot of them. I have. I bought. This is the proof, but I've actually bought this as just a novel. But I would never get rid of an Ian M. Banks because, honestly, just wonderful. If you're into science fiction and you've not treated yourself to the Ian M. Banks culture series, you, my friend, are a lucky person because you have still got the wonderful experience of reading Ian M. Banks for the first time. Oh my gosh, can you imagine that? Consider Phoebus is the first one. The Player of Games has to be one of my favourite novels. Oh, Indy. Can you imagine the joy? So, these are proofs that I have had for years. Tammy Hogue, Dust to Dust, Ashes to Ashes, crime thrillers. So Guilt is Sin, A Thin Dark Line, Ashes to Ashes, Dust to Dust. That's the way that the series goes. When did this come out? This is a proof. Ashes to Ashes. Oh, 18th of March, 99. So it's a gripping police procedural. Night Sins, Guilt is Skin. I don't know if I'd ever read them again. Joe, I don't think I'll ever read them again. And there are so many other books. I would the first two, Night Sins and Guilt is Sin, I have as just as novels. I don't have them as proofs, and I would read those again. I don't think I'd read these again. Decision that. That's going on the going pile. Woo-wee. Right, there we are. That's my first lot, Indy. The keeping pile is bigger than the going pile. Oh, frighten the cat. So that's my keeping pile, and that's my going pile, but that's not bad. How many am I getting rid of? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 14. So there we go. That's my first round. So what I'm going to do is I'll find a box, put them in it, and then in a couple of months' time, I will look in the box and I will literally just go, yep. I think with all of those, I don't think I'm going to be having any worries about those. Those I need to find spaces for. So when you come back to me, I will have cleared this and I will have a new stack of books and we'll go through it again. Okay, right. This is probably going to split into 2 already, so you'll be already in your second part. So I'll see you for the next bit. Bye.